Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Callahan, Sensei Andy, visiting from Orlando, Florida. If you're in Orlando, this is a gentleman to come see. You can reach out to me and I can give you his information. We did another video on blocking, tournament blocking and street fighting blocking, which obviously are a little different. Today I want to talk a little bit about kicking. We did some kicking for the street, but this is going to be tournament kicking. As we know, in the street we want to stay low, to the knee, to the groin, and pretty much that's as high as you want to kick. In tournament fighting, we're kicking to the stomach, the head, all these different kicks, of course, inside, outside of the legs. And so I want to work a little bit on some blocks, kicking blocks, and avoiding some kicks as well with some blocks, transitioning stances from maybe a Kumite Dachi fighting stance into a Kokutu Dachi stance, and how that you can avoid a maigiri, front kick, for example. So, there's 4 blocks, typical blocks for the extremities, the lower extremities kicks. There's going to be inside, outside, right? I'm not going to block it, but here are the kicks that he basically will have. It'll be inside, outside, and outside. Those are primarily the 4 kicks for the lower legs, right? But the blocks would be, to block this inside, I guess we should do it this way. To block for this inside, you just want to come down and block here and block the inside by lifting it at an angle slightly, like so. Right there. Right there. Okay? This needs to be practiced a lot. I do it with all my students, every class pretty much. So here are the 4. Here's the first one. Second one is up. We know this kick, block rather. Every time we block the leg kick, we block the entire body because he might transition to a chudan middle kick or jodan high kick. So if you're fighting, you don't just want to do this. You want to cover the entire side of your body. This is covering the leg, this is covering the ribs, and this is covering, you can close your fist if you want, this is covering your head here. So if we're fighting, you're covering your whole body. So that's the second kick. So first, inside, outside, then inside here, you're meeting it. You're kind of meeting it. He's going to, because when he's going to kick with that shin, and that is a very, boom, that is extremely painful. You can see it coming if you're kind of aware, but it is a very painful kick, and you don't want to get kicked there. So you want to meet it, cross, 2 more, cross. So that's the third one. The fourth one, he's got to reach this leg, which is not easy. So typically, if someone's going to kick me off the front leg here, he's going to have to scoot. Now, my leg is already at a 45, so to block it is not so difficult. I just lift it, and I'm facing at the 45 still. The good thing about this kick as a blocker, as a defender, is when the person will kick you like that, generally speaking, they're open here. So it's a good opportunity for Shutizuki here. So if we're fighting, he jumps, boom, here. He's open here. So here, okay? But those are the 4 blocks. So 1, ich, ni, san, shi. Ich, ni, san, shi. Notice my hands are up when I block. Don't keep your hands down. Just practice having your hands up at all times, okay? I'll execute on Andy, Sensei. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So practice that. It gets a little confusing. Do it in order first. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after you get a little more comfortable, obviously, mix it up. Don't just do that same order all the time. And then when you get comfortable with that, then move around and just work on your legs. If you can come into a habit where you're constantly doing this, you'll get much more comfortable and confident. Just like with the hands. Blocking is critical. Once you get comfortable and confident, then you can actually fight because your mind is not thinking about getting hit. It comes natural. You see him coming, you can block. Then you can start blocking with intent. I want to open this person up. Even if he was kicking me on this leg, you might see this in Muay Thai a lot too. If he kicks me here, I can kick him out and move him. So here, and and it throws him off balance and puts him in the position I want. I can just block and kick. That's a little more advanced, but once you get really comfortable with these blocks, you start experimenting. And that's what you should be doing anyway. After you get comfortable with the foundation, and you kind of, I don't want to use the word master the basics, but once you get really comfortable with the basics like this, then you start experimenting. What works for you? You know, and every fighter is different. If I spar with Andy or I spar with anyone else, his style might be different from that style, but you have to know how to block, okay? You have to know how to block. What else were we talking about today? Oh, kicking to the stomach. Okay, let's transition from the fighting stance into Kokutu Dachi stance, which I really like because if you're standing at 50-50 and he has his hands right, just to say his hands here, just for demonstration purposes, he's touching me. I'm 50-50 in my fighting position. Now, if I just transition to Kokutu Dachi stance from this Kumite Dachi stance, watch what happens with this fist. Look at how much distance I've created now. From here to here. This is incredibly effective because you're dissipating the power. Even if he hits me a little bit, I've dissipated the power. It hasn't hit me as hard if I miss the block. So you use this a lot in tournament fighting from a maigiri front kick. Off either leg, that you do it a little different off each leg, but off the back leg, I can stay in this position and then sink, or I can actually change position and block them. So it'll look like this. I'll do both. So if I stay in the same position, if the kick is kind of fast, I don't have time to change my leg. I just don't have time. I just have to not get hit. So the transition from stance to stance, that's quick. And if I can block it in this position, great. You have to close your hand to be careful and use that strong forearm. So here comes the kick. No, off the front one, back one. Just off the back one. I don't have time to move. That's why I do it slow. But you notice this hand is up too. Why? I'll tell you. So he could come up. I'm going to kick here, just block like you did. And I'll show you why this hand has to be up. So here, kick. No, like you did. Yep, go to Kokutu Dachi stance. Right? Don't put that hand up. Okay, one more time, don't put the hand up. Boom, get him there. So that hand has to come up, put it up now, fighting. Boom, he's blocked still, okay? So when you do come into the Kokutu Dachi, don't leave this hand down like this, because he will fake it, turn it into another kick, and knock you out. This is tournament stuff, of course. So kick, okay? Now, if I have a little extra time, his kick is a little slower, ideally, I'd rather step off to the 45 and change legs. Kokutu Dachi still, but change as I'm blocking. Now, from here, I could come up and kick him there. Or if I don't change legs, I can kick him here off the front leg. If I change legs, boom, or I can get him in the stomach or high kick, okay? The point of this one is to be able to transition from this stance to a Kokutu Dachi stance. Kokutu Dachi here, so kick. So practice that transition from here to here. You're creating this space. Fighting stance to Kokutu Dachi stance. Os.